here. It's time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to my channel. Jiu Jitsu Life with Uncle Mike. Intros. Why am I making this channel? Well, there's plenty of channels out there that talk about the Jiu Jitsu lifestyle from the perspective of, let's say, a black belt who owns a gym, or a very established black belt who is very high level on the competitive side. You don't get to see the person who every day has to balance the jiu-jitsu lifestyle, like someone like myself, where at the same time, living in America, I have to deal with the corporate world and be part of that. So anyways, why the name Uncle Mike? Well, my nephew always calls me Uncle Mike because obviously I'm his uncle. But I'm that kind of guy that I say the things that other people don't want to hear. But at the end of the day, everyone smiles because they're glad someone in the room got it out there. So I'm going to be everybody's scapegoat. If you got things you want to talk about, you want some politics to be heard, we're going to cover all that. This is just the introduction. This is in my $1 million studio, aka my garage. There aren't mats though, so yeah, I'm gonna eventually get into some topics about like the whole gi or no gi sport versus self-defense. What's your style? Blah 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 blah, and a little bit more blah. But yeah, I think the big thing is I want to show applying the lifestyle to a balanced lifestyle, to where my whole life. Spiritually, my life is jiu-jitsu. Financially, I have to work, and I have to support my family. So anyways, that's the introduction. I have about 7 years, maybe a little bit longer, in jiu-jitsu. I currently hold a purple belt. And over 10 years in Thai boxing. And shit, my boxing experience goes on way further back, which I'll tell you, that's how I actually got into jiu-jitsu, because that'll be another story. So let's talk about a first topic, which I'm really hoping whoever listens to this channel, you're going to have to hear me ramble a little, but whoever listens to this channel, I'd like you to comment. I'd like you to give me topics that you just feel like, fuck, someone's got to say it, someone's got to come talk about it, right? So why not start at the lowest level, the bottom of the tier. Let's talk about the white belt troubles. White belt troubles. Again, these are just my opinions and random thoughts. What do white belts suffer from? White belts, if I had to sum it up, they train too fucking hard. They train too aggressive. And most of their fight is either a scramble or it's control that makes no sense. Like somebody thinking, I'm going to rear naked choke your skull because maybe if I just crush your nose, you'll tap. We won't tap. I'll let my shit break. And I'm sure a lot of you other higher belts will do the same. Or no-gi people, same, if you don't carry a belt. But at the same time, you don't speak our language yet. And I actually think that's a really good thing, because what's a common thing we hear when a lot of white belts show up and it's time to roll? You're going to hear some of the higher belts be like, fuck that, man. I'm not rolling with those white belts. I don't want to get hurt. Right? And I'm sure you've said it before, or you've heard it said at your gym. They say, I don't want to get hurt. Going back to, because they don't speak the language right now. They don't have the movement yet. But it's not your fault. If, in fact, it's a great thing. We need white belts. Why do we need white belts? Because white belts, because they don't move the way we're accustomed to, it reminds us to back up and focus on our self-defense skills, right? Because they're not just going to sit there, and they're not going to try to set up a De La Riva guard, and fuck, don't get me started with Barambola, but they're not going to do that shit. They're not going to play footsie with me. They're going to react like as if they're fighting. So that's the best person to train with. And if you get hurt training with them, it's because you're trying to do the wrong thing. You might be trying to match their strength, which is all adrenaline, with your years of training where you don't even know how to tap into your adrenaline unless you're in a physical fight. then it's just ain't gonna fucking work, bro. You just gotta chill. And, I want to say go the Gracie route, Chill, man. Chill, chill. Keep it playful, right? You've all heard that shit, Keep it playful. You have to. But white belts are great training partners. Don't ever pass the opportunity to train with a white belt, especially a fucking aggressive one. Because you know what, man? Those guys are going to want to be those are the guys that are going to get you ready out for the street. Because most people in the street don't know a triangle defense. They don't know a armbar defense. They don't realize if you get an underhook and a half guard, you're going to their back, right? Same with the white belts. They don't know that either. So make sure you're training with your white belts because someday they'll be your brown and black belts. Maybe a message to white belts. Just enjoy the ride. And it's one of these things where it's like life. Jiu-Jitsu is life, right? This is going to sound crazy, but just hear me out. Jiu-Jitsu is life. When we're a little kid, we know it all, man. We know fucking everything. But we look at our parents, and we really know that they understand things. But we think we need to get from here to there in 2 seconds, right? And our parents tell us, take it slow, bro. Ease your way in. Enjoy the process, right? Well, that's jiu-jitsu, man. As you evolve and your time goes in, you become older in it, You become aged in the game, I guess you could say. And that's when the language starts making more sense to you, and that's when you learn to chill more. I don't want to go into too many other topics because I actually have a lot of great topics in my head right now, and we'll talk about that. This is just an introduction, and I'm probably not going to be surprised if I only get 2 views. If I get 4 views, right? If I get 4 views, I might just piss my pants. I might even just piss my pants on camera. But we'll see, because I'm just going to start pumping these things out every day until I start getting some comments and some feedback of what people think. And if there's a lot of stuff which I know I didn't touch on with white belt troubles, if you're a white belt and you have questions, let me know. Let me first start off by telling you, right? Stand-up is my background, right? I was like, I was born into it, literally. So stand-up was my thing until I got put on my back, but that's another story. And stand-up always came easy for me. It was never a challenge. I never had a hard time. When it came into the transition from boxing to kickboxing and Thai boxing, it was just waiting for me there. I never knew how to throw a bad kick. It was all natural. I was blessed in that sense. When I started jiu-jitsu, I'm fucking retarded. I am retarded. Doesn't mean I don't know anything. It means I'm a slow learner. So 7 years into the sport, I'm a purple belt now, right? Where some people might have been a black belt in 4 years, 5 years, which whatever, fuck that nonsense, I'm not in a race. But what I can tell you is, from my roads of depression and dealing with this game, and with this beautiful, beautiful art, I have a true appreciation for it. And I can understand when someone comes to me and says, man, I'm just not fucking getting this thing. I'm going home beating the shit, and I just feel like I'm doing nothing but tapping out every day. Well, I remember those days too. And I remember just thinking the other day, I was like, holy shit, man. I pretty much tap people out left and right now when I roll. And there was a time where that never existed. So, your time's coming. Just hang in there. Don't ever stop training. That's the worst thing you can do is stop training. Take time off for injuries, which I'll be talking about those too. But don't ever stop training. And I think I'm going to finish my videos with whatever you believe in. When the time comes and I have to meet my maker and he says, Michael, what did you learn in this life? I'm going to say, I learned jiu-jitsu. Awesome.